Why do we change the inequality sign when we are dividing or multiplying an inequality by a negative quantity? We need to demonstrate the reason for changing the inequality sign when we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number. And for this exercise, we choose our inequality as negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 6. Let us consider some of the possible values of negative 3x. We are not zeroing on the possible values of negative 3x at the moment. We'll eventually do that. All that we are doing now is loading up our number line. We have there less than or equal to negative 6. Negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 6. The values will begin at negative 6 and get progressively less, continuing to the left. We will begin at negative 6 and we will get less, because less than or equal to negative 6. We need to begin at negative 6 and the values will continue to get less in that direction indefinitely. Beginning at negative 6 and going in the less than or equal to direction, let us conveniently choose values, and the convenient values that we will choose are multiples of 3, because we're going to divide by 3. So if we are dividing by 3 or negative 3, then the answers will look very nice and round if the numbers that we are dividing by are multiples of 3. So we are choosing the multiples of 3 conveniently. Choose the numbers that are multiples of 3 conveniently, then we will divide by negative 3 and do an investigation on the resulting values. Let us do that. Less than or equal to negative 6, we will begin at negative 6 and we are going to go progressively less. Begin at negative 6, we are going to divide by negative 3. Now, negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 6. A possible value of negative 3x is therefore negative 6. These values also. We choose negative 6 and we divide both sides of the equation. Now what we have here is an inequality, but we can use an equation to prove our point. Because if negative 3x is less than or equal to negative 6, then negative 6 is a possible value. So one of those values of negative 3x will actually be negative 6. So we may use an equal sign here. But this is not a solution of the inequality in general. We are just taking a look at the possible values of negative 3x and see how that will reflect on the possible values of x in the end. A possible value of negative 3x, as we can see, will begin here and continue in this direction. A possible value is therefore negative 6. If negative 3x is equal to negative 6 and we divide both sides by negative 3, the result will be x is equal to 2. Another possible value of negative 3x is negative 9. All of these values that begin at negative 6 and continue in this direction, all of those values are possible values. Negative 9 is another possible value. Why are we choosing those multiples of 3? We know already, because when we divide, we just want a whole number answer. Negative 3x is equal to negative 9. That will be a possible value. When we divide by negative 3, we will get x is equal to negative 9 divided by negative 3, which will give us a positive 3. Another possible value of negative 3x is negative 12. When we divide negative 12 by negative 3, because a possible value of negative 3x is negative 12, negative 3x is equal to negative 12, which we divide both sides by a negative 3. The result is x is equal to 4. Notice the values that are the result begin at 2 and get progressively larger, continuing to the right. Because if we begin here and continue in this direction, as a matter of fact, the beginning with negative 6 is positive 2. Then if we go to negative 9, the result will be positive 3. Then if we go to negative 12, the result is positive 4. Therefore, as we go in this direction, the answers will be going in the other direction, as we can see. The solution is therefore x is greater than or equal to 2, because the values of x will begin at 2 and continue getting progressively larger each time. X is greater than or equal to 2. Dividing by a negative quantity causes the direction of the sequence of values to change, or the sequence of results to change. This is why when we divide or multiply an inequality by a negative quantity, the inequality sign changes. Notice that we begin here, and as we go in this direction, the results will begin here and go in that direction, the opposite direction. That is a consequence of either multiplying or dividing by a negative quantity. The direction of the sequence of values will change, and that is why the inequality sign needs to change when we are multiplying or dividing an inequality by a negative quantity. For access to hundreds of free videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Richard James Mathematics Resources. For unlimited access to thousands of exclusive full-length videos, please subscribe to our Vimeo channel, Richard James Mathematics Resources.